Good evening, everybody. Um, Thursday, I want to say Thursday. It's Thursday, right? It's a Thursday evening, November 13, 2025, in the Netherlands. Yeah, I felt like it was time to stream some pinball again. Being away for yeah, quite a while. Not very long, but it feels like maybe a month or something. Maybe 3 weeks or something ago, I might have streamed for the last time. All sorts of stuff happened in the meantime. Yesterday we saw the announcement of the new Steam machine, and also I believe a virtual reality headset from Steam and a new Steam Deck. It's over here. Got a chat and everything. Let me fix that up for you guys. Could use a little bit less brightness, and the other one a little bit more. Down. Hey. Yeah, like I said, it's been a while. I played all sorts of different games. I played shoot 'em ups, some dice game, a really cool dice game called Dice a lot. Thought it was pretty cool. I only played the demo. I was gonna buy the full game too. I still haven't managed to buy that yet. Not money wise, but just didn't come around to it yet. Magic Pixel released some new tables, a new postal pack. Also, I believe I saw somewhere that they said there was also a new electromechanical pack, EM Plus pack, they called it. I haven't bought those yet. It's about the Mega Table Tsunami arrive so quickly. Every Thursday they're gonna do Lamp Hunter and Target Elimination Mode tournaments. Aerobatics Deluxe table. Also brain damage pinball pack. Yeah, here's about the EM Plus, a new generation of electromechanical tables. It sounds cool. Quite electromechanical, not quite solid state. It's something right in between. EM Plus remains in the golden age of pinball with a modern twist, preserving the soul of classic pinball, of classic gameplay, while adding just enough spark to make it feel brand new. More than nostalgia, it's a tribute to evolution itself. It's only beginning. All hands on deck. Combat EM Plus. Hooky EM Plus. Let's have a look at those tables or at the demos of them. EM Plus. Well, it looks like it's 4 tables. We can try these out, right?
EM Plus.
Oh, it looks like we can't try them out. They locked them. Table pack 1. Yeah. Yeah, so they decided to get rid of demos, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but we could just buy this pack, I guess. Let's just see if we can buy this pack right now, real quick. It's just gonna take a few moments to buy this table pack. And I have to some money in my Steam wallet. To my email here. Done quickly, guys. Hang on with me. Yeah, and as I played different games the past couple weeks, I kind of started. I was still thinking about pinball, and yeah, even though it has its downsides, the digital stuff, I still started to miss it. Started to miss the streams too. Kind of reminiscing about the streams we did for a couple months. It was live 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah. So I decided to stream some pinball again. I looked bad about 3 weeks ago when I told you guys I was fed up with the stuff. Kind of looked bad. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure I ever will be in the mood for this again.
The world don't stop. Welcome to 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 the world don't stop Welcome to the world of darkness.
played pinball for so many years. It's kind of your thing, you know. It's the kind of the thing, yeah. That's you play. We have the most fun playing. Some money in the Steam account. Let's visit the store page. Let's buy, yeah. We'll leave the postal pack, the new postal pack, and Aerobatics Deluxe pinball table for what it is right now. Oh yeah, it would have been cheaper, yeah, because I got the platinum pack. If I bought everything, and we would get a discount. Yeah, see what the discount would be like. See, yeah, I can buy everything for yeah cheaper. Yeah, I see now. Yeah, I see here. Really get a good deal, great deal every time they release new tables when you once bought the platinum pack. Because instead of letting me pay like oh, it's like instead of letting me pay 12 euros and 78 cents, I only have to pay 5 euros and 12 cents. And I get the EM Plus table pack and Aerobatics Deluxe. So I really do consider if you can, yeah, you feel like you might want to play this game in the future too. Really consider playing a platinum pack, unless you're waiting on console release, of course. Like I know a couple of my viewers do, or they want to play it on Xbox or PlayStation. Yes. Chat. Hey, what's up, Nuclear Black? Good to see you, man. Rip it, yeah, rip the spinner, man. Got some audio here, some doable audio echo. Sega X-File got an official code update that almost. That's crazy, man. That's cool. That's really cool. Who made the? I guess it's from Stern, right? And the guys from Stern made it, gave it an update. It's got totally redone. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. How you been, man? Been a while. Oh, official. I don't know who did it, but it works on real VPX files. Okay, cool, cool, man. So it even works on VPX. That's dope. Go through now. I think it should have gone through. Probably gonna have to restart the game. Give me a second. Restart the game. Soon if you drag the wrong thing, it's running on a real table. That's cool, man. That's dope, yeah.
Hot Wheels Remake.
There we go. We got him. We got him. So did you have a look at these tables, Nuclear Black? I believe there's no demo of them. You probably wouldn't want to buy them yet. So yeah, I guess you haven't seen. Yeah, you might have seen them, but you might probably haven't played them. Playing PBX, yeah, I can understand, yeah. Especially since you want to wait on a console release to buy new tables.
Combat.
Let's have a look at this. Combat EM Plus. I told you there's over 5,000 tables available. Yeah, that's crazy, yeah. Almost too much to choose from, right? Unless you know your stuff, you know what the good tables are, and you know what to choose, what to play. But for players that don't know these pinball tables, are gonna be like, well, where do I start? They will need advice, you know. They will need advice for what to play. Oh, ball out. So yeah, I understand that. Yeah, a lot of it is probably trash. Yeah. How's the audio? Let me have a look at the audio real quick. Before I remember, there might be a huge mess. Oh, audio seems kind of alright. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a smart thing to do then. Yeah. Still 2,500. Yeah, that's crazy. Too many tables. I guess it's probably a lot like maybe 400 or 500 that you would say really worth playing if I had to guess. Classic or arcade? Oh, so simulation, yeah. Original tables, yeah, those can be cool too. Those count too, absolutely. So what do we think of this, Nuclear Black? Does this look alright or? So it's an EM plus table, so it's fairly simple. It does have ramps, a ramp, and what's that? It has like a fuck or something. You see? Oh, that's not it. Oh, it's actually, yeah, I see, yeah. And it goes up. 4,020, yeah, that's crazy, man. On the 50 gig, that's crazy too. That's a very small file size for that many files. Chat a little bit larger so I can read it a little better. Stuck, I need to. Sometimes things will get stuck or won't work, and then all you need to do is nudge the table. Yeah, I guess this is just where my heart is at, the digital pinball. Even when it's with its downsides, that we talked about before I stopped about 2, 3 weeks ago, I believe. I feel like it was like 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, this is just the best thing to play still, yeah. Flipping them flippers, shooting the ball, trying to control the ball, pull some tricks. I tried a lot of shoot 'em ups from Toa Plan. That were cool too, but yeah, after playing like 4, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this now for now. Still fun, I guess, but yeah. I also played Metal Slug. I think that was probably the best thing I played. Metal Slug 3, yeah. Daarom bij het VPX even Randy Davis was a guy who used to work at Microsoft. First Windows Home. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Must be a smart dude. Yeah. I also have to say the evenings were pretty boring without streaming. I was sitting by myself, talking to friends on Discord or WhatsApp and whatnot still. But so I feel like the streaming was more social, when I was streaming. It was more a place where we could talk about pinball too, yeah. More of a good place to hang out, here on Twitch. Of course, the chatting is cool too, but you ran out of stuff to say so quickly, because you have to type everything. Everything you say, you have to type, and people will respond one time, and then maybe they'll stop responding. I do that myself too. I'll give one answer, and then but often subject gets dropped, and the next day there's maybe some new chats or something. But I really missed the time together with you guys here on Twitch that we could, no, it's fun for me to play and fun for you to watch, and we can talk, and it's just good, man. And as the last 2 weeks in the evenings, I was like, kind of feeling a little bit lonesome, talking to Copilot or ChatGPT now and then. But yeah, they don't really bring up new stuff either, You have to start talking to Copilot before it will answer, It won't be like, hey, Robo, there's new news today about video games, this and that, a new Steam box, Steam machine or whatever, It won't bring up anything, It will only conversate about stuff that you bring up. That's kind of the downside of that, I feel like. Slang down, yeah. Ah, I see, yeah. I can understand that, yeah. Are there any more rumors about Stern and digital pinball? Did you catch anything about that? Have anything said about that? Nothing. Okay. See, my guess kind of was it's like Ad Games is doing with like they did with Turtles, you know. I have a licensed Turtles table for the Ad Games 4KP machine made by Magic Pixel, you know. I feel like Stern might go. Yeah, that really made me think Stern might go a similar route. You know, they might not want to really release a video game, but I have a hunch that they might be working on some kind of digital cabinet together with a developer. The doctor. Oh lol, yeah, that's funny. If Stern does video film, they want their own platform. Yeah, yeah, that too, that too. Because they wanted that with the Pinball Arcade too. Although later, after Stern Pinball Arcade release, they did release those tables for the Pinball Arcade also. So yeah, it's kind of a yeah. Yeah, they're probably not gonna say if, for example, Stern Studio gets the opportunity to create them for a game. They're probably not gonna say yeah, just put them in Pinball FX or like that. It will probably be like yeah, Pinball FX turn or something. How the fun could work on FX? They only have 3 tables. Oh, that could be an option. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is yeah that. But I heard Gary Stern or somebody also talk about. It might have been Gary Stern. I'm not really more over a year ago that I heard that. That they might be leaning more towards a virtual cabinet, you know, where they release tables on instead of a video game, you know. Especially, yeah, like I said, what you see, what Ad Games is doing with what they also did with not Pirates of the Caribbean. What's that game called? Sea of Thieves. No, they had Magic Pixel, yeah, Microsoft and Rare is Rare, right? Sea of Thieves, yeah. I gave Magic Pixel the assignment to create a table for the Ad Games pinball machine, and now you got the Turtles game on Ad Games. It makes me think, yeah, it's yeah. I had other reasons too. I can't come up with it right now, but that really made me say, yeah, that it is very well possible they will go a licensed virtual cabinet route, you know, with some developers and create some software with some tables and maybe release new tables every 3 months, every half year, whatever, and then yeah, sell the tables on a digital cabinet. Would you save up for that, Nuclear Black? If they said, yeah, here's a Stern digital pinball cabinet. It's uh, it's 1080p back box with all the screens, the back box on a screen, the LCD monitor on a screen, just like the ad games cabinet, so to say. And if they would sell, yeah, for example, for $1,000, would you save up for that, or would you be like, I'll just go play them in the real world now and then instead of buying a cabinet like that? Oh, that's cool. That's handy, very handy, yeah. Yeah, Auto Boss, he also likes to play that Lord of the Rings table on VPX. Did you catch that announcement yesterday from Valve? New Steam machine. Also VR headset and new Steam Deck. But yeah, the most remarkable was the Steam machine, in my opinion. Yeah, would you be interested in that? Yeah, another question. Yeah, if they would make that 400 euros, you know, basically has the same kind of performance as my game PC right here. Only the CPU is not as good, you know, but yeah, you don't really need that with the kind of graphics card, you know. So yeah, what kind of the performance, but especially since it doesn't have to run Windows, the performance will basically be around the game PC I have right here. And they're speculating they might be able to sell it for 400 euros. I think I tried watching Auto before, but his actions too No. I have a problem. It's a little bit difficult for me too. At least he's a lot better than some other French streamers who tried it in the past to do it, to also talk in English. I mean, I remember Groff South. Groff, I wouldn't know how he said it in English, but you probably know him too. He was one of the best players on Pinball FX3, maybe even the best, at least on originals and such. But he sometimes tried to talk in English too, and that was just too hard for me. I just couldn't deal with it. I tried many times, but he had such a tough time coming up with the words. I was like, oh, I can't, and then I had to leave, you know. I was like, oh, I can't handle this. I'm sorry. I didn't say it, of course. I just laughed, but yeah. And then I feel like when listening to Otto, he's a lot better than Groff South was at English. Otto can do a reasonable job at English. But I can also understand some people have trouble with it. I've been talking a lot. Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah. They were also talking about that the FX has the flippers misaligned, right? And that is the reason why said that they thought that was the reason why shots break. I don't think that's really it. Because before on Theodore Magic you could just spam the RAM 12 times till they came with a patch, and all of a sudden you could hit it three, 4 times and it would automatically miss. That was someone okay. Well, on Theodore could you also combo the left orbit? I'm not sure about that. I don't remember me really trying that. How would you combo it? Just by shooting it straight on the fly? The left orbit dropping to roll two. Yeah, when they first released the Magic on FX, there was a real aiming issue, real aiming problem. You would try to hit for the right loop for the clock, and then yeah, you would aim for the right loop, but the ball wouldn't go that route, so to say, you know. And you'd be like, yeah, this even Pinball Wiz said back then. I'm not sure what it was about that table, but back then even Pinball Wiz said, yeah, this game has serious aiming issues. Okay, okay. Oh, okay, I see, yeah. Not cool that they figured that out. But yeah, one of the biggest problems I have with FX is many tables when you would play them on FX3. For example, both the ramps or monster bass, if you would combo them, if you get the perfect shots in, you could actually combo them, you know. You could even start bright and finish bright just by comboing, you know, without missing a shot if you got the perfect shots in. And now when you do that, when you try to do that, like, it's on the third or fourth shot usually. You know you got the perfect shot again. Like, oh boy, this is going up the ramp, and then bang, it would just hit the post and fire back into a drain or some shit. And yeah, that's kind of stuff. That's what really makes me fucking salty. You know, that's you want to make me salty. That's the way you do it. It's cool. Yeah, yeah. VPX has a lot of modding options. Yeah. To be quite honest, I'd rather play FX3 than FX right now because of the physics. Yeah. And for multiple things. Also, when a game is around the in and out lane, or the ball is around the in and out lane, the way it behaves there, you know, it bounces up a little, maybe on the post or something, you know, and trickles into the in lane or out lane. And then when you look at that, it's so natural, you know. You're like, oh yeah, that's actually probably how it would go on a real table too, you know. The ball would come at that area that way. But when you look at it on FX, you're like, huh? But you know, you know what I mean. It makes you really doubtful that that would actually be the way the ball would act around that area when it goes there that in the way it does. You know, if that makes any sense. I see. Some tables on PPX, the max nuts is way too weak, but you can easily turn it up. It's cool. There we go. Straight bottom sling. For real, okay. And then you must have been like, wow, it's actually possible. Lol. Yeah, that's also a thing. You discussed that too. That when the ball goes back and forth between the slingshots and Williams on FX, it's just like one or two hits, and it will send it into the drain or into the out lane or some shit. You know, there's no back and forth. You know, at least yeah. I don't wanna rub Zaccaria's back or anything, you know. But at least they got that right, you know. They got that back and forth between the slingshots, kind of proper, you know. This game also suffers from gamification, you know. Letting you fail when you almost reach the end of the modes or something, you know. And then that just be like, oops, and all of a sudden it gets very drainy, and it might even be on ball one, and then ball one would go out, and then ball two would go out right after, while ball one was really fucking long, and then ball two and three would drain like a motherfucker, just like that, you know, and you're left confused, you know. You're like, but I had this game in hand, you know. I was gaming, you know, I really had control over this game, and all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, sitting there, well, you're like sitting there, what do you mean my ball drained? You know, it's really fucking frustrating, yeah? And that's digital pinball, I guess. I'm not sure how that works coding wise, you know. I'm not a game developer, you know, so I can't say too much about it, you know. It's kind of a problem too. If I was a pinball game developer, I could explain, you know, what's going on. You know, I could say, yeah, they probably programmed it this or that way. Or, you could probably solve it, what's going on. Well, yeah, being just a gamer, you're left to up to what you know about pinball, and what you see happening, and then the first couple 100 hours you'll probably still be fine with the games, and you'll be like, oh yeah, this seems like a good simulation, and then after maybe like 500 or 600 hours, you're like, but hey, isn't it doing this all the time? And hey, isn't it doing that all the time? And hey, this shot is a spot on and they miss, and all sorts of stuff. PX camping game will be illegal. Okay. And feedback, you also have ball control, so if some real bullshit happens, you can just grab the ball and say, nah. Yeah, that's cool, yeah. Yeah, that kind of takes the fun out of pinball, right? If you have to say, I need to take control over the ball, while, that's, will be the same as taking the glass of a pinball machine and be like, put a block between the flippers or some shit, and, grab the ball from there every time. Oh, if it's yeah, I understand what you mean, yeah. Only if stuck ball, okay, yeah, that's cool, that's cool. Looks like we did a little bit better this time. Lots of XP. Good to use. Gene together. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's very handy. At one point, you get the hand of it. Yeah, of it. Yeah. Yeah, and that's also kind of a thing. When you master the table on FX3, if you Williams table, when you played it so many times, how to reach the wizard mode so well, and everything. You're really fucking good at it. Then you'll be able to beat it every time. It's like yeah, because you just because let's say on a wheel table, you're so good at it, reading what it's gonna do and everything. That you'll beat it just every play. And but on FX, it's just a question, what's gonna happen, you never know what you're up against, some shots might brick, 2 shots brick, out of 3 balls. If 2 shots that were dead on brick against the post of a ramp and fire back into the out lane or into the center drain, yeah, then you're left with 1 ball, and then you're gonna be like, yeah, but hey, this is not my, your skill level is way higher than the game lets you play, it's just a game cheating, cheating you out the ball. The game is just like, yeah, we're not having, I'm not having the, you're beating me every time. I'm gonna make sure you lose. I think this is a cool table, a nice multi-ball going here. I like the art and the lights and everything, the ramps and the loops and yeah, this is some entertaining stuff right here. A nice ball speed. And there it goes. Some in terms of strictly the best in Can act like full-time Arabian. Yeah, I agree with Tales of the Arabian Nights is really good on FX, yeah. It doesn't really have that thing either, you know. That yeah, it doesn't seem to have suffer from any of those. Not that I noticed in any case, you know. And it's like that when they know it's an easy table, you know, like Arabian Nights is an easy table in the real world too. Then they usually let you have it, you know. Then they're usually gonna be like, yeah, just play. The game is gonna let you play the way you want to play, you know, and it's not gonna rob you, you know, because the real game doesn't really drain that easily too. So they might figure like, yeah, let's not rob the player of the ball. But when a game is more difficult in the real world, then they'll let you play. For example, on ball one, they'll let you play and let you play for a bit, you know, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I got some control and everything. And all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, but now this has been enough. This game in the real world is really difficult. So you're supposed to have your ball drained. So here, boom, bats in the strangest ways that you're like, what happened here? It will just make sure your ball drains. You know, what's the name? I can't come up with the guy's name. Major Dwayne Pinball said too, you know, on pro mode, the game is just out to let your ball drain, you know, a long ball drain. He said the game will let you drain a long ball just for the sake of letting it drain, you know. It's just stupid. It makes absolutely no sense. And that's probably because they can't cook up the physics complex enough on that Unreal Engine, like they could on their own engine on FX3. You know, the physics are so complex and so good that it doesn't need that kind of cheat you out of the ball moments. You know, if the game is hard enough by itself, you know, it doesn't need that kind of moments. But with the Unreal Engine, yeah, they're also saying themselves they're having trouble cooking up a good set of physics, and then they have to find ways to make it because you know everybody complains right away when it's not realistic. You know, all the pros. Yeah, maybe they are pros. I don't know what to say, but you know, they say when the game is so easy, they complain. They're like, yeah, but this shouldn't be so easy, and they're upset with Stan and shit, you know. And it should be harder, you know. And that they try to listen to that, you know. And that's where I think they cook up these rules into the physics, into the software, into the the yeah, and not and they add some things to the physics that will make the drain the ball. That's what I think it is. I can't prove it or anything, of course, but yeah, I guess you know understand what I mean, right? But I've heard, but they have been fine for you. Okay. What did they complain about their fire tables? Oh my god, I almost forgot to tell you I played Texas and Pinball World. But when I was like 10, I need that was funny, yeah. Sam Pinball was trying to improve his rig, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that was also the strangest decisions made on that, you know, to but I also yeah, just because they don't want people, yeah, that's what I think it is, really think it is. They don't want people saying, yeah, but it's easier than the real table, you know? They want to hear people say, yeah, it's very, very realistic and difficulty and shit, you know? But yeah, the people that say it's very realistic and difficulty are not the people that can read what's actually happening. You know that it's just it's just robbing you from your balls. You know to make it. Yeah, you know what I mean. They can't read it. You know, a lot of people can't read it. You know, they can't read what's happening. Well, when they miss a perfect shot on the ramp and it hits the post next to the ramp, they be like, oh shit, I've actually missed the shot. You know, they be like, yeah, my own fault. They don't realize they actually made the perfect shot. You know, they're like, oh shit, I hit the post. Oh damn, it rained. Oh my bad, my bad. You know, something like that. You know, and not something like that. That's just how it is. To the top 10, Nickel Black. Oh, short multi ball. Ball away, yeah. All right, one more ball. Physicist to analyze, yeah. I don't need to hire one, dude. I can read it by myself well enough. Actually, in general, much saver, you can tell immediately. Okay, yeah, I understand that, yeah. Zeker thuis heb ik toen prepared with the own table that had a rigged right outline, but it was by accident and nothing I tried to fix it. I had to just block the right outline off. It's the only table I've had to block an outline on drain. Okay. Goes, yeah. Game over. Third place. Nice. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, not intensely and table is free. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. And I'm basically the only one that spoke up to them about that, about those comboing ramp shots, and all of a sudden it will miss, while the shot was straight on. I talked about it in the FX Discord, and added Gigahertz, the product manager. But nobody else, you guys should have, and Major Dwayne should have been in there too to back my stories up, or stories, it's not even stories, But it almost sounds like stories, but nobody understands what you're saying, They must look at it like a story. But Giga has actually acknowledged that they had problems with the Unreal Engine, and that they were happy that at least the reviews on Steam now say positive, it doesn't say mixed anymore. So yeah, when it comes to that, and I'm the only one speaking up about it, they're probably gonna be like, yeah, we're just gonna have to, we're gonna go the way it is now. Is we're gonna proceed with these physics, I guess. You know what I mean. But they don't really have a good way to solve that either. I bet, because of that Unreal Engine. This is just what they can do, and they are working on it. That's what he said too. He said we're still working on it. Yeah. Oh, you got an FX Discord. That's possible. There was some hope that for if they ever gonna, not ever gonna, but they're probably gonna update the game to Unreal 5, and that they have. I'm not sure. I see. Again, I'm not a game developer. I don't know how these engines, what they contain and what they can do and such. But yeah, I believe Gigahertz did agree that updating it to Unreal 5 might give them more options for physics. Might make them able to incorporate the physics in a way that is complex enough by itself, without needing tricks to, The difference to me was just clear, when but I got really pissed off at one point to play Monster Bash, and it just drained my ball right before the wizard mode, and on a shot that was straight on, I just knew it should have gone up the ramp, really pissed off, and I quit the game and I started playing Zaccaria, and then after 3 weeks or so, I booted up FX3, and I played Monster Bash on there. And I was like, oh, let me see, combo the ramps, and boom, 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 boom. There we go. There was comboing the ramps, worked perfectly fine, And I'm like, yeah, but what am I supposed to say, Yeah, what am I? How am I supposed to play then FX then, If this is FX3 does it way better, but it doesn't have FX3 doesn't have the realistic flipper physics, that wiggle a little when it bounce, but the ball bounces up on them, bounces up on the flippers. That it doesn't have that. So yeah, that's a big downside on FX3. It feels way more static. But then I'm like, yeah, if FX is the physics are so bad. This is so fucked up in my opinion. For to a regular player, it's probably they don't notice it. They're probably like it is what it is. But yeah, if it's so bad to me, then how am I gonna play it? I'm gonna play a game that annoys me time and frustrates me time and time again. Yeah, it's not worth playing. Oh, matrix table, cool. On VPX, cool. Oh, that's cool. Right over return range a months best how the wheel on there. Yeah, that's kind of a thing. I understand that. Yeah. No, I'm not craving some more taxi. Yeah, true that. Yeah, yeah. Let's boot it up, shall we? No way, dude. No way. Oh, we did a nice run on. Oh, see, we weren't even that far away from second and first place. By the other tables too. Might not play them all tonight. I want to be back tomorrow too. Yeah, be back tomorrow too. Really feel the almost the urge to stream again. You know, yeah, yeah. Just the best thing for me to do at the moment. You know, it's not like I have some better options or anything. You know, the other games or whatever are not either. You know, yeah. This is where it's at. Yeah, I guess that's what you get after playing digital pinball for 8 years. So at home with it that just yeah, home is where the heart is, you know. But they're also super easy on the mobile. Oh, yeah, that's yeah. What a nightmare that table, man.
Fire. EM Plus.
Besides Epic 3, your only other real option is VPX. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, pinball. Yeah, but yeah, and Zaccaria. Good thing we also have Zaccaria. And there's so many tables on here that this is yeah. I feel like this is a really entertaining game. You know, it's always, and they release some new tables so often too. You know, it's always something to discover, and you know, I'm not even talking about the tournaments or anything. You know, because yeah, those are cool too. But I feel like just playing single player and just see what you can do, have some fun, play some, and maybe get a top 10 leaderboard score or something. You know, I feel like that's the way best way to play Zaccaria pinball. Yeah, you meant besides, yeah, of course, yeah. Okay. This looks really good. Nice art, nice lighting and everything. This has flippers that don't go up as high as on the combat table. As some people said that they're releasing tables in such a high pace now that yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna say it, but you know, they kind of call it a kind of software. You know, that's just you know very low quality. But that's not true either. You know, there are always people like to hate. You know, always the same people that like to hate on stuff, on certain stuff. You know, it's like a football thing, football team thing. You know, if you like one team, then you're gonna say the other team sucks. You know, that's kind of what it reminds me on. Maybe that's not totally their angle or anything either, but yeah, that's kind of what it reminds me on. It's just yeah, some people just love to hate, you know. Yeah, some people love to hate. And this seems a more than reasonable quality too. This table. I bet the the person that said it hasn't played these tables yet either. That's I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, also yeah. You can say that they released tables in a very high pace in the past year, but you can't say it's bad quality software because they push out so much that it's just you know, there's only quantity, no quality. Absolutely not true. Mobile X play, yeah, so I can play Taxi, lol, yeah, yeah. So I can play Taxi the way it's meant to be played, yeah. See, Sense Studios is not done yet either, you know, it's not like FX is the end of the road or anything, you know. They probably wanna continue working on pinball for many, many years to come. So we will probably see an FX5 or maybe Unreal 5 engine update on Pinball FX the coming year or coming years, you know, somewhere down the line. And yeah, they probably have much more surprises for us in store too. You know, probably maybe a deal with another manufacturer or you know something like that. There's gonna be many more. And yeah, I just hope they heard me about the physics. You know, even though I was the only one that could confirm seeing things. You know, at that moment, at that time in the Discord. Yeah, I really hope they. Mm, yeah, we basically need somebody like what's that dude called again? He's a YouTuber, and during the start of FX3, he showed a video of a real pinball table and explained what FX3 was doing wrong, you know, with the physics. And everybody was like, "Yeah, he's right. That's what exactly what it is." And the Sun Studios got eye on that, and they were like, "Oh, then maybe we should." And they actually went with that, with what the guy said. And after that, everybody was over the moon with the physics. So we might need something like that, you know? Yeah, you don't know if it's a 5 year. They said it's a 10 years plan. They said yeah, it's a 10 years plan. About when they released it, about is it not 3 years ago or something? Yeah, something like that. But looking at I can see where you get that from. Earlier releases like FX3 was like 5 years. Yeah. General consensus is kind of like yeah, they probably want to update to Unreal 5, and it's very possible they'll make a new game for that. You know, they didn't really say FX is a 10 year plan, but they said in general they have a 10 year plan. You know, 3 years ago, they said yeah for the coming 10 years we have oh how do you call that? Route roadmap. Yeah, for the 10 we have a roadmap for the coming 10 years. Yeah, we're gonna have to see if things like maybe Stern is on there. I don't know. It's all up in the air at the moment. But my guess is what I think is the biggest possibility is that Stern is gonna work together with an a digital cabinet manufacturer, and is going to release the tables on that. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, they're gonna have to do that. And they'll be sure they know about that too. They even themselves, they acknowledge it too, that they made a mistake not doing that last time. Such a huge backlash, why? Yeah, insane. I also think it might already be the case, but Stern had a contract with Farsight from yeah, you know, the Pinball Arcade. Of course, you know that, but in case people are listening that don't know that, Stern had a deal with Farsight from the Pinball Arcade, and that's I believe that deal runs off this year. Don't yeah, don't hold me to it or anything, but I believe that's the case that the deal runs off. Yeah, so that says enough, you know, and that's also probably the reason why about 2-3 years ago, somebody from Stern said digital pinball is coming, but it's not around the corner. Because they probably, yeah, they knew, of course, the contract they had with Farsight, and it was probably for 5 years. We did some summarizing like last year or something, like how long these deals usually last, and it's usually for 5 years. Deals are usually for 5 years, and we could kind of see where they started the last deal between Farsight and Stern. I'm not even, we did some research then, and you could really tell that there's a really large possibility that it's a deal between Stern and Farsight runs off this year, or maybe next year. But it's yeah, because it's so long that we talked about it, so long ago. But sometime soon, in any case, it's not far away that the deal runs off. The table has been removed. The other stones are still there, but they haven't been pulled like Williams. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they still have a deal with Stern. Yeah. And like 3 years ago, people were all like, "Yeah, we got Williams on FX, but we want Stern too." You know, you could everybody's dream. You know, you could the way people talked about it, even on the Dutch Tech websites forum, where we have like a pinball, digital pinball part of the forum. Yeah, it would always be people saying, "We really want Stern." You know, that's the dream. You know. And yeah, Stern must have caught wind of that, and they were like, "Yeah, guys, listen up. Digital pinball is coming, but it's not around the corner." Yeah, because of that contract, of course. And that's why they couldn't say soon. It had taken another couple of years. Lord of the Rings was not on Pinball Arcade. For the longest time, everybody thought that Stern was going to make digital pinball together with Sen, you know, because it's also this tweet from Mel Kirk and Gary Stern together, where they had a good talk. You know, you could basically tell the environment they were, that they had a good talk together, and the tweet said. Stern and Sen the future, or something like that, you know, the future in any case, you know. So everybody was like, yeah, no, not everybody, because a lot of people must have missed that tweet, but you know, everybody that had seen that tweet was like positive, you know, they're gonna do it together, you know. And now, since lately, yeah, these rumors have been showing up, and yeah, you told me about it too. You saw it too, I believe. I haven't seen it myself. That Stern is working together with VPX designers to create a digital pinball game. But that might also be together with Sen Studios, you know. That's a very because Sen has also worked together with people from VPX for making what was that again? Something for cabinet mode, you know. They worked with a VPX designer. Yeah, also Sen is a platinum sponsor of IPA. That's really cool that they do that. The sounds of this table, man, the sounds are really good. It's a little bit drainy, but yeah. Nuts it out, yeah, my bad. Playing Johnny and my mom got tables they couldn't have had to have Okay. Oh, Twin and Johnny are really good. Okay, cool, yeah. I don't know the table. I've heard of it before. Maybe when I see it, I recognize it. But is that a Williams Den? Williams table? Keanu Reeves before the Matrix. Okay. See, I see. Oh yeah. Oh wow. It looked like a dead slingshot. I'm not even sure what happened there. What do you think of this table, Nuclear Black? I really like the art and with the lights and everything. I really like and the layout is really cool and original. It's a fun table, man. So well, okay, good to know. Yeah, the ball they can turn off when the ball is into. That sucks. That sucks. People haven't asked for Santa 14 Tomcat in this. Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, it's kind of one of the big names, big table names that still has to be done. Yeah, I don't know if that would need a license. That's a good question, though. I think it won't. It doesn't need a license. On the other hand, it's kind of like Harley Davidson tables and need a license from Harley Davidson. Yeah, and that 14 is built by a brand, by manufacturer too, or whatever. Is I don't know it from the top of my head who built that plane, but yeah, it's possible Sam would create a table and without license, given paying licensing costs for anything, and then manufacturer of that plane knocks on the door. Hey, what are you doing? Pay us, you know. Give us the loot. Give us the money. See, yeah. Oh, that was nasty. Tip of the flipper, bottom slingshot. Say. Oh, that's a drain. Nasty drain. Ball three. Don't drain it the same way again, please. Oh well. What do you guys say? We do one more game and we call it quits for the evening? 1.5 hour. We should play for 2 hours. I feel like we can go for another half hour. We could try. Maybe I gotta stand up for a second. I basically need a new gaming chair. This chair is by kind of end of its life. So it was a fairly expensive chair, but it only lasted for like a year and a half. And now became hard. You know, the seat became hard. It's not very not very. I say that not very comfortable to sit on anymore. As long as you sit up straight, you're basically fine. But as soon as you start leaning back a little, it's kind of, yeah, the chair is too hard for that, yeah. Make a cup of coffee. That would be a great idea. There we go, I'm back. I made some coffee. I went to the bathroom. I want to buy a new gaming chair, but I'm afraid if I buy someone like again for like maybe 200-300 euros, you know, it might wind up being the same kind of quality as this chair. You know, the seat flat after a year and a half or some shit, you know. So way too expensive to invest so much money into a chair to only have it, only be able to sit on it for a year and a half. So we got 4 new EM Plus tables. We played combat and Overwind and Fire. Let's just move on to Farfalla.
Farfalla EM Plus.
Typical romantic kind of a table art for Farfalla. It's an out. Already into the top 100. Looks like not many people play this table. Ball out. Was just a short game and we're doing very well. That's possible too. The call outs are kind of yeah, strange. How many times is it gonna go back? Seems like they need to fix this. Ride it out, right? I'm gonna nudge it out, yeah. Let's nudge it out of there. If we can. We can, okay. Oh, some nice T points. Gonna do it again? Yeah, this table needs an update, yeah. This table needs to be fixed. Rip it, yeah, rip the spinner. This is a real spinner table. Can we backhand it? No. Oh, yeah. Clumsy there. This is my least favorite so far, yeah. Not much going on in this table either in the layout. Yeah, one more game, right? Back. Oh, ball save was off, yeah. All two. Still, oh, yeah. Let's forget about this. Seems to be the best thing to do right now with this table. Just forget about it. So yeah, yeah, it's possible, I guess. You know, could release 4 tables. So one is kind of bad. Eddie's Playboy just here one moment. That's cool. So you're standing there playing in an arcade, you know, with a, you know, yeah, funny, yeah.
Spooky EM Plus.
It looks like this table has a loop, yeah, and it has some drop-down targets, 2 sets of drop-down targets, some nice table art. But in general, this table also looks a little bit. Yeah, of course, you gotta realize it's an EM plus table. It's trying to represent an EM table. But I feel like the first two we played were probably the best. Combat and what was the other one? Combat and I can't even come up with it. What was the other one? Oh, that was like still okay, cool. Oh, ain't it? That does have those spot targets there at the center. Does have something going on. Two holes in the table on the left and right side. Sounds are really nice. Zaccaria here. Hands out. Game over. Try again. I can't say I really like it all that much. It's an okay table, I guess. I guess it's better than that Farfalla table. Is it better than Taxi? Yeah. Depends on where you play Taxi, I guess. It's kind of funky too. You can't say much bad about this table. You have to realize it's an EM plus table, but I just don't like the layout all that much. It's a little bit boring layout. Yeah, of course you got the drop towers that drop now on the left behind the evil word. You can hit the scoop. We should try to hit that scoop now. So yeah. Then you it has modes. Okay, yeah. I guess yeah, it has modes. Yeah. Yeah. What are you gonna say about it? It's not that bad. It's not the greatest thing when it comes to EM tables either. Not really modes, of course, but you know, it has goals. Table has goals. Yeah. That's how. Oh, I didn't find. I didn't think Black Knight 2000 was bad on FX. I kind of liked it on FX. I should have nuts it again. There's no tilt. Yeah, I could have just nuts it again. Oh well. On to the last ball. The slingshots are on. That actually is still. Lol. The slingshots are kind of entertaining. Oh, ha, 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 ha. That's kind of funny, right? Actually, that's kind of weird that I discovered that, and I didn't even nuts it that badly. I felt like, yeah, I don't know. I probably did press it twice or something, yeah, to write with no rest in between, you know. It's usually when these kind of tables will tilt. We got another new table. It was like a deluxe, right? Deluxe. Aerobatic deluxe. What was that other EM plus table? Like, oh, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah.
Aerobatics. Deluxe.
Alright, let's finish the stream with this table.
Roll it, push it to the limit. Welcome to the ultimate stunt competition. This is Aerobatics.
I have to say I don't really enjoy the use of colors.
Time to take flight again.
Change the lights a little bit to make it look better. Kind of bad looking table. I'm sorry to say, yeah. Don't mean to.
Ouch, rough landing. Let's try it again.
You can pull both flippers up and it will skip the bonus You know what? The LCD, you know.
Bonus times 2. Cuban 8 minigame is lit. Lost control. Time to recover on the next run.
At least we got some some call outs that sound a little spicy. Yeah, the voice, spicy voice. Yeah. Flip us up.
Multi-ball is lit. Hit the top pop bumpers 20 times to start multi-ball.
Hit the top pop bumpers 20 times to start multi-ball. The right loop.
Cuban 8 minigame is lit. Kickback gate is open. Minigame completed. 5 million points. Hammerhead minigame is lit. Time to show us what you've got. Start game
Oh.
over. A tough break.
Start
but
game
it's time
over.
To get back in the air. Let's do this again.
Oh, well, man, cool, man. I'm gonna end. I'm just about to end the stream here. Yeah, I decided on 2 hours. 2 hours or 4 more minutes. Let's play one more game of this then.
Engines roaring, crowd cheering. The sky is your playground. Welcome to Aerobatics. Kickback gate is open.
Oh, we can't see the back of the table, lol. Change that down quickly.
Welcome to the world of darkness.
Table, I guess the table looks a little bit better now. We're more zoomed out. We were too zoomed in.
On the next run.
That's also why it looked kind of bad. Doesn't look bad, but it's just too much light blue and light pink. You know, it's just yeah. It's just yeah. You probably yeah. You probably see what I mean.
Multi-ball is lit. Hit the top pop bumpers 20 times to start multi-ball.
Like I'm looking at a cloud, you know, yeah. And the details of the table kind of fade into the cloud, you know.
Too much speed on that one. Let's do this again. Start mode is lit. Time to take off and show your skills. Bonus times 2. Chandel Award, 3 million.
Thank you for the follow, 20 Pinball.
Multi-ball is lit. Hit the top pop bumpers 20 times to start. Game over. We've all had a rough patch. Time to reset and hit it again.
Yeah, we passed 2 hours. So let's end the stream here. Thank y'all for hanging out. Yeah, we had a good time playing this. I really liked the first 2 we played. The rest was, I didn't expect that. That was like the rest is probably gonna be pretty good too. Yeah, looking at this, see, combat over in the fire. Yeah, pretty great tables. For Falla, yeah, and it had a bug and a little bit simplistic. Spooky also a little bit. Yeah, it had some entertainment value. Was better than Farfalla, but yeah, kind of a mediocre table in my opinion. But the callouts and everything were kind of cool. And yeah, there's something to say for wanting to play this. Ended with Aerobatics. It wasn't to my taste, but it's so much more that is to my taste. You know, a new Devil Ride is more to my taste, although I didn't really like the way the game treated me on there when trying to beat the modes. Played it like a couple weeks ago. Awful lot to play, so much to play. Really recommend if you want to really want to get your skills in, you know, playing these electromechanical tables. Original Zaccaria tables. You all know that, you guys all know I like these ones. Any more stuff to go to come too. I guess we're gonna get a lot more EM Plus tables too. And let's hope they're more of the quality of combat and Earth, Wind and Fire, you know. Yeah, that'll be it. Catch you guys on the flip. Peace.